Let me start by sharing this little story from Rain and Bonky. I know the story since about 16 of my age. Rain and Bonky shared the story, stating that there was a lady called Maggie. The husband was an army, but then they were sent to other countries for peacekeeping or whatever purpose it might be. But then, when the husband got there with his fellow troop colleague, they held them captive and they decided to jail them for a very long time. While this man was being jailed, there's never any day that goes out without him talking about his wife, Maggie. And the full name of the wife is actually Margaret, but he likes to call her Maggie. Then every day he would say, I can't wait to leave because of Maggie. Maggie is everything that completes me as a man. Maggie is my life. Maggie is my hope. He would mention the name of Maggie in the morning, at noon, and even at night before he sleeps. His friends tend to wonder as to why he would be in jail for so many years, but yet, for those time being, he never forgets Maggie for 1 second. Then, luckily for them all, a new president was sworn in, and then he gave the whole prisoners amnesty. Then they were released. He went back to his country. On getting there, he walked through his street. He realizes that his street looks different from what he used to be. Probably he had been jailed for more than 20 years. But then he could still remember his house, with the interest that Maggie is out there waiting for him the same way he had long waited for Maggie. But then when he got to his doorstep, he rang the bell. Luckily, Maggie came forth. Maggie opened the door. But then he was shocked because he was expecting Maggie to really be so happy, hug him, jump on him, scream, maybe probably tears of joy. But then Maggie was looking at him like she was seeing a ghost. Then he was shocked. Before he knew it, a man walked through behind Maggie and told Maggie, baby, with a kiss, who is he? And Maggie could not answer. But then what did this man do? He looked at Maggie and walked away without saying a word to Maggie. Now, what am I trying to say? A ladies out there generally like to be loved, to be cared about, to be made known to everyone that they're the only one in the world existing in your life. Yes, that's true. They need those expensive cars. They need the expensive attire, they need the jewelries. They want to be on fleek, they want to be hot. They want you to satisfy them with everything possible. But then, that does not apply to the other world of men. A man can give you everything you request for, but then his heart does not belong to you. His heart is somewhere. What am I trying to throw light into? You can be with someone, but then your heart is with someone else in a distant place. You can rather be in a distant place, but your heart is rather with someone out there. This is just the irony of life. But to actually find someone who is around you and his heart or her heart is with you, and finding someone who is far from you and yet their heart is still with you as much as they are close, is a discovery that we might not be able to figure out in a hurry. But if you look at the case of Maggie, Maggie never believed he was going to come back. Maggie never believed that as much as is out there, he is still having good gestures for her. Maggie didn't believe that that man in jail holds her up in a very high esteem. The problem with Maggie is, Maggie wanted someone to be always available. Maggie could not control her loneliness. Maggie could not control her hope or her faith. Maggie thought like it is finished. And that drives me to most of the relationships today in the world. I have seen people who had issues about relationship, probably maybe they tend to give themselves some time or probably some space. Before you know it, within a couple of few days, the girl had moved on. She's with someone else. And then the guy too had done that. Now this is the part I tell people that we are all operating on the feelings we get or we generate towards people, not because we truly love them. If Maggie truly loved her husband, Maggie will wait till the very last minute of it. Maggie won't give up hope. Maggie would always hold up to that courage and that belief that one day my husband will be out, as much as the husband was holding up Maggie in his heart every day of his life, every moment of his life. But Maggie did not see that hope. Now, we really need to be very careful when we're trying to make decisions. You leaving someone to run into the other does not make you feel like you're smart. Does not make you feel like that's the only way you can handle this shit. Does not make you feel like it is okay that you can always replace one. You don't chase, but you replace. But it's actually crazy though, because if you truly love someone, and even if that person hurt you so bad, you need time to heal. You need time to heal in the sense that you actually want to know where your errors came from. You actually want to find out what really went wrong. If you feel like you were too good for that relationship, then you need to ask yourself what really went wrong. I was too good for him, but then I don't see any reason why as to why he will not take me serious. Or probably was there anything I was doing myself that was not right, that could make him not trying to be nice to me. Yes, as much as people will hurt you, but then everybody will tell you they got reasons as to why they get involved in their actions. You see, there's no smoke with that fire. People has reasons. When a woman says he doesn't want to marry me, but then the question is, maybe the man could be scared about something in as much as he loves the woman. And when the man says she don't want to marry me, probably maybe this woman feels like, yes, as much as I love him for some reasons, I don't think I can proceed with the marriage. These are a lot of things that we need to put into consideration. So when you have yourself in that kind of situation where your life is not running out the way it ought to be, especially in the relationship part, which I'm talking about right now, you really need to understand that when you get out of something, you need time to heal, you need time to ask yourself questions. It does not make you a superstar for you running out of a relationship and running into another in a hurry. It makes you a victim. Because at the end of the day, you could not discover your errors from the previous relationship. Then you're rushing into another one because you feel like you cannot manage your loneliness, because you feel like the only way to prove a point to the other person is to show them that you can always find a man. No, like for the ladies, no. There are a lot of focused ladies out there who believes in chasing their careers, not men, due to their experiences they have had with this man. And there are a lot of guys out there, niggas out there, who believe that at one point I really need to build an empire for myself other than wasting my time trying to hop into every relationship I get myself across. So this is how this whole shit just works. But then we need to understand that where we had an error in the past, we should go back to the past, we should look about it, think about it as well, and begin to figure out how best we can correct the future. And then the truth is, still, as much as a woman will want everything, attention, good life, and all about that, there's only one thing I feel like every man wants to chase, or probably that thing is being divided into two. Every man out there wants to chase money for a better living. And there's one thing that would really throw a man off guard, is realizing that his one woman is not for him alone. What I mean is, He's not the only one assessing that woman, like assessing the woman in her. Now, these are part of the things that men will not tolerate. As much as women will have a lot of long leads, I want him to be around me. Yes, you want him to be around you, you want him to love you, you want him to care. But the other hand, what if he has to go out there to make a living for the both of you to have a better life? We ought not to forget that part also. As much as we're chasing wealth, riches, trying to make a good life, we should not as well forget to be with our family too and show them love. And as much as we be with our families we should understand that at one point we really need to go out there to do what we have to do just to make our life comfortable back home. You see, this is how this whole shit works. So you really need to be with people who has this proper understanding for them to actually figure out what exactly it is about. Because if I spend my whole time being with you, trying to show you how much I care or how much you mean a lot to me, and then there were things I ought to do to make a living, to actually put the family together, I won't be able to do it. You see, you can't trade two things at the same time. I won't be able to do it. And then when I say I'm out there chasing money, business, trying to keep the company running because we need money to survive, we need money to live a good life, and then ignores your family, it is still not a good thing. So this two thing has to be compromised. You see, you have to spend time with your family, and at the same time you have to also ensure the fact that you're out there working your ass out so that you can make their life a better one. And to all those who feel like the best way to get back at people is to do stupid things, does not make sense. When a nigga leaves you, especially the ladies, when a nigga leaves you, you getting another nigga in 10 minutes does not make you superior. No. You know, if you try that for me, I would say I regretted being with you because you know why? I had spent a whole lot of time being with someone who has a PGR. Because if you're with a smart, sensible lady, there's only one thing she will understand. Yes, I had come from afar with this person. How the hell am I supposed to even run into another relationship? You know, I had seen like a couple of movies where friends would be like, you really need to forget about him and move on. Then she'll be like, no, it's not easy to forget about him. I can go into another so easy. Because I know I gave out a part of me to him. I loved him dearly. So why would I want to choose another in a hurry? Which means, if I'm doing that, which means all the time I spend with him, I was not loving him. Now this is what love is mostly about in relationship. People don't get it, but then if you step out of one because of one heartbreak, then you're running into another, in a hurry, it means that you were also playing. You were also playing too in that relationship because it has no impact in you. You see, when we lost people we love, we feel the pain. We feel the pain not because life is not going to go on. We feel the pain because we know that we had lost someone that we can never see again or be with again. Now that is what love is like about. That's just the other explanation of what it is. You see, when you lose out of your relationship, you should feel that pain. You should understand the fact that yes, I'm not going to be with this person no more. As much as you understand the fact that moving on is the next step you need to take. Yes, it's okay.